name is Gracie and this is Your Development Era, and I am with
George.
And George, tell me where you are on your journey, a little bit about yourself, please.
So I've just started my second year of uni. I came to the uni by doing a foundation year, so I'm pretty much like part of the furniture at this point. And I'm currently studying psychology with counselling and psychotherapy.
Oh, amazing. That's amazing. And George, what were your initial expectations of university before you came here?
Well, for myself, like I said, did a foundation year to try and understand like the writing process and very much focus on just getting the degree. And I kind of expected it to be kind of very fast paced, which everyone knows it is. So I'm still like developing the skills within that and working as much as I can, obviously, with the tutors to try and understand the process and develop and grow as much as I can.
Do you think having that foundation year helped you like be able to understand the degree and where you're at now?
Yeah, definitely, without a question, because it was so much kind of support came from tutors, and it was very much quite a calm experience. Like, it was sort of a little less pressure in a sense because you knew what you were doing, but also it showed like the level you have to be at and what's expected of you. So it's a really nice way to introduce you to the process. And
it made it almost less stressful than what it could have been.
Yeah,
than what it could have been.
absolutely.
And how did you find that transition from like college to university? How did you find that?
Well, I was kind of prepared for it because I've been working with a personal trainer for the last few years who specialises in like psychology and NLP and CBT.
Amazing.
And I've actually got myself a qualification in those as well.
Wow.
So I've got quite a decent base. But he's the sort of person who keeps people really, really grounded and helps you to understand what you're there for and keep you on track. And that really gives me a level of self-confidence, and it shows me that I can keep developing and keep working.
And having that sort of personal trainer that you've had in your life, do you think it's helped you to develop that confidence?
Yeah, because it's about being around the right sorts of people and being around like-minded people and people that understand what it takes to develop, and being in a space where you are open to learning and you're not trying to prove anything to yourself or to other people. You're just going on your journey, for want of a better word, and you're doing what you need to do for yourself, and you're being your best self at all times.
You're just being you. You're being the highest version of you, as you should. So when you was going throughout like your foundation and first year, what were your biggest struggles? What were the biggest challenges that you faced in those first years?
I think with studying psychology, there's quite a lot of feeling that you can kind of say to yourself, like, do I understand what I'm doing here? And for myself, I can put myself under a lot of pressure to like have everything like in order at all times, or have a complete idea of what I'm doing. Whereas as time's gone on, like I said, it's been constantly reiterated that you are here to learn, and there's no real pressure because you're in the position where you're privileged. And obviously being at university, everybody's in the position where they've got the time and the space to do that. So when things get difficult, like for example when you're handing in assignments, I always try and remind myself that it is a privilege and it's an opportunity to show the marker and yourself what you've learned and how it's going to help you grow as a person.
Yeah, because when you show up for yourself, it's like you get to come to university, you get to do these amazing things, and it's being grateful that you're here. No matter what happens, it's being grateful when you're here. Was your main focus just university work?
Yeah, very much so. But as time's gone on, I've really started to feel more comfortable within myself because I've got a great group of friends, because I myself am like a mature student, so it's really great to be around people that are the same and they know exactly why they're there. So that in itself, I keep repeating being grounded, but it always helps me to focus and stay within that mindset of do your job and give the best you can.
When you first started university, do you think being a mature student, did you look at the difficulties of that, or do you think being a bit older gave you the confidence that you needed?
I would say that I am more confident because I am older, so I'm not one to be like going out clubbing and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not going out getting drunk and everything. That's really helpful for me because it reminds me again that I'm here for a purpose, and
It gives you a sense of fulfillment.
Yeah.
It gives you And do you think in like the first and second year for you, was there a turning point for you? Was there a moment when you was like, actually, like you say with your assignments, that you thought, I get to do this? When you, in the beginning, when it was a bit of a struggle with your assignments and stuff like that, do you remember a turning point? Was there a turning point for you?
honestly, I would say it's recently because I've been speaking with my personal tutor and like talking to him about what I'm sort of planning to do next and where I want to take my career. But then again, within that, he's also said, like I said, just to be mindful that I'm not trying to do too much and remind myself that I'm just in a process and remind myself that I'm in a constant learning state and keep that going for as long as it takes.
Yeah. And the end goal is to have that learning state fulfilled. And, you know, you never necessarily, your life can change. It can change in so many different directions. Do you think you had a clear set of what you wanted to do when you started university? Oh, God, my eyelash. Oh. Do you think you had a clear set of what you wanted to do when you started university and then that sort of changed as time has gone on? Or?
No, I would say that I have a clear idea of what I want to do, but then as time's gone on, that's become more and more and more clear because there's been more and more opportunities and I've found myself being more and more comfortable within the environment of the university, and I'm around people that are really, for want of a better word, level-headed. They show me and others and themselves that we're just so fortunate to be in this position, and there's always something to be grateful for. It doesn't matter whether you're getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning when it's raining, you know why you're here. So
Oh, you're going to make me cry. That's so beautiful. Oh, it's so lovely that you've found people that make you feel like that highest version of you. It's so important to have that network. Talking about people, did you find it easy to make connections at university? Like when you first started, put yourself all the way back to when you started in that foundation year. Did you find it easy/hard? And what made it easy or difficult for you in the beginning?
I think it was in some sense kind of difficult because it's just the fact it was so new. And I think a lot of people can resonate with the fact of when you're in a new environment, for want of a better word, and you're kind of thinking to yourself, okay, this is like a big shock to the system. There is that initial thing of, okay, just give myself some time and just familiarise myself with it. And that's exactly the reason that I did the foundation year, because I think a lot of particularly first year students can resonate with the fact of it being first year and it's perhaps the first time they've moved away from home or something like that, and it can be quite a shock to the system. So if I was to say something to them, it would just be take your time, enjoy the process and put yourself out there.
Yeah, and put yourself out. And I know that you're a commuting student. Did you find it difficult being a commuting student to make friends easily?
In some respects, because particularly with like Freshers Week, for instance, quite a lot of the students that are getting involved, or the students more so that it's catered towards, are the people that live sort of near campus. You can, in some respects, feel a bit isolated at times, but because I knew that was a thing for myself and I knew that was a thing for a lot of people, I've now purposely within my second year put myself out there and got involved a lot more.
How did you know that you weren't alone in commuting? How did you know that it wasn't just you that was feeling like that?
Well, to be honest, the majority of my group of friends are commuters as well.
Oh,
funny
that's
enough.
perfect.
Like, there's quite a lot of examples where, like, we'll be dropping each other messages and like laughing to ourselves at like 4 and 5 in the morning, thinking, what the heck are we doing, sort of thing. But like when you're here and when you're in lectures and stuff, it's like, no, this is worth it.
This is worth doing. Yeah. And how did you meet that group of friends? How did you find them? Were they from your course or?
Yeah, it was through the course. Yeah, we did a group task first year, and we just found that we like connected on a lot of things, and we had quite a lot of similar perspectives on stuff, and just fundamentally we really enjoyed the subject. So I think that's something that really connects us all.
Yeah, oh, that's amazing. And using your course in other ways, not just to come in and do the university work, has really helped you, hasn't it? Like find your people and stuff like that. So for you, was university always just about the degree, or was it more for you? Was there a sense of personal fulfillment or personal development that you wanted to get out of the experience and use? Because, 4 years of your life, it's a long time. Like, I know, I'm in it. It's a long time to spend on yourself. Did you just want the degree, or was there more for you?
Like I said before, with working with a personal trainer, his methods are so heavily like reliant on psychology. But the more I've learned from him and worked with him, I've understood that I really, really, really enjoyed the subject. So it kind of felt natural that I should come to uni and study the subject, because it's like anyone says, if you find something you enjoy, you're never going to work a day in your life, right?
Yeah, no,
You know
that's
what I mean?
very true. So you I suppose for you already sort of had that sense of fulfillment behind you and your reason for being here and your reason for coming here.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So did you ever look into, we have a lot of different things here. We have the union and we have all different kinds of things that go on throughout the year. Did you ever look into them for like personal development, personal fulfillment, or was it for you just your course and primarily that journey that you were on?
Initially I didn't, but this year me and my friends have set up a society, so that was something that just sort of again came up through the lecture, because we were doing mindfulness based interventions, and we all noticed that we really enjoyed learning about meditation, so we've ended up developing like meditation classes and journaling classes to help people focus on like well-being and personal development whilst at uni as well.
That's great. It's so good that you've made that. And what was the society called, Jules?
It's MMU Yoga and Mindfulness
Yoga and
Society.
Mindfulness. Such a great society and so influential for so many people. If you could look back now and tell your foundational year student when you started that very first week in September, we'll use the yoga and the mindfulness, we'll bring ourselves back to that moment. If you could tell that first person anything, what would it be?
It would be always find something to be grateful for. Like I said, especially when you're commuting and it's cold and you're getting up at crazy o'clock in the morning, and remember why you started and never forget that.
Never forget that. That is true. I love that. That's my favourite quote in the world. And with the commuting and, the dark mornings, especially now, it's getting more into winter. Do you think having a purpose to wake up in the morning and go, I want to do this degree because I feel like it's for me, made you feel good about yourself?
Without question, because it is eventually just going to be me that's like, okay, I've got to get myself there. I've got to push through and get the work done. Do you know what I mean? So it's realising and remembering why I'm starting, but then also being around the right sort of people at all times, because there is going to be periods where you do lose sight of things. So whenever that happens, don't be afraid to reach out, or don't be afraid to ask a question, no matter how many times you have to ask it. As long as you understand what it is you need to understand, then you've done what you needed to do.
Yeah. And do you think, did you always have psychology at the forefront of your mind, like that's what you wanted to do? Like when in your life was that point where you went, this is what I want to do?
Honestly, it's probably just been in the last 3 and 4 years, just because of my own personal desire to change. And I realised that the more I work on myself, the more I can do for other people also.
Oh, it's so beautiful. You're gonna make me cry again. I can't be crying again. Do you think having that fulfillment makes you feel like a good person? It makes you feel like what you set out for?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh,
Absolutely.
That's lovely. Well, thank you so much, George. Thank you for sharing your story with me. It was amazing and very inspiring.